Alright. Welcome, those of you who showed up. Most of us know each other, so we'll still go through the introductions, even if it's just somewhat of a formality. We don't know everybody here. I'm Andrew Hunt, the president of the group. I am an MLIS student in my 5th semester. I plan on graduating in the spring. I really don't have anything to add to that.
Okay. I'm Renee, I'm the vice president, and I'm an MLIS and museum studies student. Also in my 5th semester, I'm only going part-time, so I'm going to graduate next spring.
I'm Lauren Gaines, I'm the treasurer. I am an MLIS student along with an MA in history. This is my 4th semester and I'm hoping to graduate in the spring.
I'm Laura Kunin, and I'm also an MLIS student with history, and this is my,
Yes.
oh, okay. Yeah, it's my 4th semester. And I will be hopefully graduating in May.
I'm Bethany Fuller. I'm in the archives concentration for my master's, and I will be done in the spring.
I'm Corey Perez. I'm a first year history master's program, and I'm thinking about adding either archives or a library science joint degree. So.
My name's Carolyn Cowton. I'm the secretary. I'm on archives concentration, and I hope to graduate in the spring, like most of us.
Okay, well, Corey, since you're our new person here today, if you didn't get the word when we were going around speaking to classes, we generally do things like hold speaker events, which we'll be talking about, have field trips, mingle with each other, talk about archives. You get the gist of it. And I did want to mention right off the bat, because it's coming up soon, our big fundraiser of the year is a Kringle sale. So if you want to help us sell Kringles, it would be highly appreciated. I'm just going to get right in it and start talking about the Kringles right away. But, everyone has a handout, so you'll see we have 2 upcoming speaker events. The first with Dennis Meisner, talking about his MPLP, more product, less process approach to archival processing, which, well, if you haven't already noticed, it's pretty prominent in the archival literature, so I would highly recommend checking it out. It will be on September 27th at noon in room 181 of the Union. We have a second speaker event with Robert Ryder. He's an assistant archivist at the University of Alabama. I should say an associate professor at the University of Alabama. He's in the School of Information Science there. He will be coming to speak, give a talk about his research on the history of archival language. I just heard back from him, got some more information to flesh that out specifically. It will be, if you're kind of baffled by what is archival language and history of archival language, I kind of summed it up concisely as it's a discussion of how the ideas that shape archival practice are shared through language, and how language shapes those ideas as exemplified through an episode in the life of an early to mid 20th century archivist named Roscoe R. Hill. So I can see that having a lot of appeal for archivists and historians. As for the time for that, we've kind of talked a little bit. I did pose the 5 o'clock time for him on October 4th. It's the first week of October, so it should be directly a week right after our first speaker event. Would 5 o'clock be okay for everybody? I mean, if you want to show up.
What day of the week is
It's a Thursday.
Yes, it will be okay.
Should be okay.
Yeah.
The class is at 6:30.
Oh,
Yeah, I tried to plan it out so it would jive with, the classes that are being offered and everything. Plus, I was hoping Kim was here so we could discuss some things about that event, but I'll probably be sending her an email. as far as promotion goes, he sent me an abstract and some information, so I will kind of write up a blurb for a poster, then we can go through that process again. But we kind of know what to expect.
Yeah.
We're in the right direction.
Yeah.
But I haven't reserved the room yet. But if October 4th at 5 o'clock sounds good, I'm going to do that. And I will, of course, let you know, at least I'll let the officers know when I get the room done, and then once we start getting the promotional materials out on the internet and have our flyer made, then you'll see it on there. And it should be pretty quick, like this week. So this is all coming up very quickly. And as far as both of those events go, I wanted to provide some light refreshments, just like some sodas, bottled water, chips, cookies, like unhealthy junk. So we haven't like divvied up who's gonna bring what yet, so if anyone's sitting on a stockpile of soda or cookies, chips, it would be appreciated if you could bring them. Utensils we need. So would anybody be willing to bring anything? I mean, we can't really use this as like a baseline to be able to tell how many people we're going to have at our event, because I'd be willing to say there are going to be more people at the event than here today. But even with that said, I'm going to say probably about 25 people plus or minus 15 people, if that makes any sense. But
Is there money for it in the fund?
there is, if you needed to be refunded for it. Last year when we paid for stuff, we just paid for it up front. But it shouldn't cost too much.
I'll bring some
Cookies, right? I'll just end up bringing whatever anyone else doesn't volunteer to bring.
I can bring whatever, but I don't have anything stockpiled.
Okay, well, I was just throwing it out there. So, drinks.
Sure.
What else do we need?
Alright, well, I guess I said like light refreshments, so you know,
Mhm.
nothing too extravagant, so.
No
like,
beer.
That's all
I don't think that's
talked about
technically a
with
light
Yeah.
refreshment,
Yeah.
but, like in my mind, I just had like the four main categories of things: drinks, cookies, utensils, of course, not to eat, and then chips. So we have drinks and cookies covered, so do you want to bring some kind of chips?
Sure, I'll bring
Junk
It'd be
chips.
too loud though. You know, like the crunching.
Yeah,
That's
that's true.
true. Bring dip.
I think cookies should be fine. I mean, it's only an hour, right?
Yeah.
An hour and a half. Well, I suppose it's during lunchtime.
Tough decision.
Okay.
Things you can't really, it's hard to plan for these things beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
I guess just drinks and cookies will be good, unless someone wants to bring another type of baked good. Cupcakes, anyone?
You bring napkins?
Yeah, I can do that.
Right, actually, I may have some plastic utensils at home, so I don't think you need most for cookies. Yeah, just bring napkins.
Really
right.
fancy.
Okay.
I'll continue to think about it, but as long as we have that.
Is this gonna be for both?
It's gonna be for both, just, I mean, obviously, if the cookies will be sitting around for a while, but if you have some drinks that go unused from the first event, I mean, you can bring them to
Could
the
we
second.
get some, like, plastic cups or something?
Yeah, I'll bring those.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously, you're not gonna need a fork and a knife. I mean, maybe out there is someone who eats cookies with forks and knives, but I don't. Also, I want to mention Home Movie Day again, and Home Movie Day Preview Day. We're having an actual Home Movie Day that deals with, well, it's an exhibition of people's home movies on old film, gives tips how to preserve home movies, things like that. And they're looking for volunteers for that event in Madison. I've talked to them, well, I've sent out an email, I haven't heard back any information yet. But if you're interested in helping out on Home Movie Day, it's October 20th, it's a Saturday, let me know, and then I'll put you in the informational loop as far as that goes. And in addition to the actual Home Movie Day, Kim is holding a Home Movie Day preview day here at UWM about a week before Home Movie Day. I forget the
It's
actual
the
day.
11th.
The 11th, it is a
It's
Thursday.
I thought it was a Wednesday.
I think it's a Thursday night. Well, it's online, I think it's a
Yeah.
Thursday
The
night.
11th is a Thursday, yeah.
And I'm sure she would appreciate volunteers or help with that too. I mean, I think it's pretty interesting, I'll be helping with both things. So if you're interested, you know, especially the one in Madison, once I hear more information, just let me know and I'll let you know what's up. Plus, alright, I'm moving on. I've been thinking about whether or not we want to apply for some kind of grant, because the applications for that are due at like the beginning of November, late October, early November, so it comes up real soon for the spring semester. It's just the problem is having the foresight to actually know what you want to apply for a grant for, because we could literally do something that we'd spend, you know, we'd get a couple $100s for something if it was the right thing. It's just, at this point, you know, deciding if we even want to do something. So I wanted to ask if there was any kind of event that you would like us to perhaps pursue in the spring. And it's kind of hard to think about right now, especially with all the stuff going on right now.
I liked the field trip we did last spring,
Uh-huh.
so I think I'd like to do something like that again.
Mhm.
And like we kind of talked about going to Chicago.
Mhm. Yeah,
What is that?
the Newberry Library.
Newberry, yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how the logistics like work out with that as far as securing bus space and that, but it's like I thought about, you know, what if we apply for a grant for something like that to pay for all these people to come along and then no one ends up showing up, because I think last time or so I wasn't around, but apparently they took a bus down there and a bunch of people signed up. We paid, then the group paid for it and then they didn't show.
Mhm.
So, what if we could figure out how to have a grant pay for something like that?
Well, where's the MAC this year?
It's in Indianapolis.
And it's like the week before the ACRL, or like the week, same week, just the Area Research, Association of Research and College Libraries.
Well, yeah, that'd be a good thing for a grant.
So
Well,
they're
it'd
like
be-
either back to back or the same week or something, and they're both in Indianapolis. I was surprised.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to MAC last year and it was a really great conference to go to, especially because I hadn't really gone to any professional conferences yet. And, you know, people were really friendly. It's small and there's enough stuff going on. There's still enough stuff going on, so it's interesting, but it's easy to meet people and at least they're, you know, they're in your same geographical region.
Mhm.
But last semester, I think there were only like 2 UWM students who went, and Sarah went because she was presenting. So it was just me. But I think it would be really cool if we could do something to encourage more people to go,
Mhm.
or because I think if we did something where we, and even if, this doesn't even have to have money behind it, but if we could do something to encourage people to, you know, sign up in advance or like share hotel rooms or something,
Mhm.
or split transportation if that's possible, then more people would go because it would be more affordable and you would know somebody,
Yeah, I think that's something
so.
to begin
Yeah, I like that idea.
looking at with grants, like maybe even go down, maybe we'll even have like a group presence down there. Be
Does
nice.
anybody have an idea for any posters that you wanna, bring a group into or anything?
Mhm.
I'll do that, whoever's interested.
Well, if you did a poster, isn't the policy for SOAS that they would automatically pay for you to go?
I have no idea.
Well,
I
I
think if
guess-
you're presenting at a conference, they will pay for you to go no matter what. Cause they want that
Mhm.
presence there, so that would be,
sounds right.
that would be a way for you to, you know, get rid of that fee.
Well, I guess for those of us who aren't presenting posters, then, look into a grant for that sort of thing. I like that idea.
I think the proposal deadline for presenting at MAC is like, for students is like December sometime, I don't know exactly.
Oh, that's late. Okay.
Well, because for the panels, it was like August, and I got an email a week before, and I was like, how am I supposed to have an idea in a week? I don't know. But I think for student posters, it's much later.
I think I'll look into, kind of how much things cost for that, and maybe at our next meeting, I'll throw it out there again and see where you guys are at. Because probably our next meeting will be about a month from now, and that'll probably be right before the deadline to have the grants in, so.
It's not a bad drive either, so if you carpool, it would save a lot of money.
Is it 6 hours or so?
No,
No?
I mean, it's like, okay, so I'm trying to, yeah, 'cause I have a friend that lives in West Lafayette, and that's 3.5, not with the time change, and it's 45 minutes after that to, Indianapolis from there.
I guess can some of us stand being in a car with each other for 6 or 7 hours? That's the question.
Well, I guess, yeah, it also depends on how bad Chicago traffic is and which way you take.
No.
That's the worst part.
All right, and another thing I wanted to do is, obviously there aren't many of us here, as far as meeting times go, what generally would be the times during the week that you're most available? Like if we decided to hold our meetings even later in the day, at like 6 o'clock maybe, because I know you work, would you be more likely to come to meetings at like 6 p.m. someday, generally speaking?
Depending on what day it is.
Yeah, there are so many night classes that
Mhm.
a lot of people have, so.
So like what day of the week is the best for everyone?
Sounds like another doodle poll.
Doing your doodle polls.
They're convenient, but yeah, I'll put some later times on there. I guess, well, since Kim wasn't here and we couldn't discuss things with her, the last thing that I want to mention is SAASC is hosting the Open Doors Milwaukee event this Saturday at 11. They're meeting at the library. I'm gonna go. I think it
Oh,
looks,
there's like an organized thing?
yeah,
Okay.
it's at, I think, 11 o'clock. Are you in the group?
I can't go, I have a wedding to go to, so, but yeah, it is. It's on Facebook too.
Yeah, that's
They have
where
a
I.
page, so.
So yeah, it looks pretty, I don't know how long they've been doing it, but it'd be interesting.
It's only the second year they've done Open Doors Milwaukee.
So I'm sure you're bound to see something that would have to do with archives, seeing the bowels of the city.
They have like walking tours and they open up a bunch of buildings that you wouldn't normally get access to. Like in the public library, I got to see up in the way top floor, and then like the extra book storage underneath, so.
So even if it doesn't necessarily have to do with archives, looks like a good time. Let's check it out. And I believe that is all for today. Gavel.